Hey guys, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on the PlayStation 4. Since this was on my list of top games of 2014, I might as well cover it. I know I kind of felt guilty about putting a Call of Duty game, but I feel like this is one of the better ones in a long time. I think all the Call of Duty games are quite similar, but you know, I think this one has an interesting campaign. It's more about the campaign and the weapons and stuff like that. And this one truly feels next gen. Although I saw the Xbox 360 version and it still looked quite good, even though it didn't have as much stuff going on at the same time. And the recorded characters look absolutely amazing and realistic. You can tell that's straight up Troy Baker. Like if you've ever seen Troy Baker like on interviews or whatever, but yeah, it looks really good. It's not gonna blow your mind with anything different in the Call of Duty games. I do prefer the Call of Duty games that take place like in the 80s or before, but I mean, this is probably one of the best, more modern takes on Call of Duty. Like, I like this one more than the modern, well, I like the first Modern Warfare a lot, but I think based on the modern ones, this is probably right up there with maybe the first Modern Warfare. And this is actually real time, which is crazy. And I think the technology and everything in this game is just really interesting, and it just looks truly next gen. I mean, that's really all I can say. It's, if you played a Call of Duty game, you're gonna know how to play this, but there's some unique things going on in it for the Call of Duty universe. And it's just nice to play a polished Call of Duty. Now, a lot of people bitched about Ghosts, but I thought Ghosts were fun. Like, there's really, in my opinion, no such thing as a bad Call of Duty game. There's just some that are more enjoyable than others, I believe. But I mean, I think you always know what you're getting into. I turned the sound down, and it's still fucking loud as shit. But in this one, they happen to actually do that same technology that they did in LA Noire, where they recorded the character's facial expressions, and it looks really good. And like I said, I've seen some worse looking games running at 30 frames per second. It kind of blows my mind that this runs at 60 at 1080p. One thing about these futuristic Call of Duties that you don't really have a problem with the ones that take place in the past is you don't know what the hell the weapons are. Although I think there's like AK-47s in this. That's like the only familiar gun that I think I remember being in here. I mean, you know the difference between like a pistol and an assault rifle looking thing, but you really have no idea how the weapons are gonna react. I would love to see a modern World War II game. That'd be perfect for like Medal of Honor relaunch, because I think they're gonna probably go on further with the Advanced Warfare concept. Unfortunately, since this runs at 1080p, I'm only going to be able to record at 30 frames per second, so if this game looks choppy, it's not. It's just because you have this little jetpack thing. you have these little gimmicks. You usually get one in every level, and it makes it interesting, and I kind of really like that variety. And it's a beautiful looking game. I mean, it's a fun arcade game. I can't say it enough. Now, I can't really speak for multiplayer. I played it for a little while. It seems... Well, let me go back to the mission area. It could have warned me. Ignore that. That's my bad. Doesn't mean the game's bad. That's probably how it keeps it 60 frames per second, because it limits where you can go. It's not an open world game. But I mean, the detail, and they have like that field of view blur and all that shit going on. A lot of effects. The fire looks really good. You have that augmented reality ammunition counter, which looks really cool. A lot of stuff that's... You like the other Call of Duty games, you'll like this. And it's a lot more cinematic than the other ones. It reminds me of the older Call of Duties with its huge set pieces, especially the World War II ones, which again I'd like to see. But I think Medal of Honor would be suited for a World War II remake versus Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty, this game is sort of on the right path. I think Medal of Honor would be better suited for World War II or Vietnam like remake. Although I would like to see either franchise have one, but I just think Medal of Honor has like a lot of rich characters and stuff that hopefully I'll go over soon. In the original PlayStation 1 games especially. A lot of fucking drones. It's amazing how much stuff, even if your area is kind of limited. Even if your area is limited, the amount of shit on the screen at the same time is incredible. Where are they so I can watch them all drop? That looks so cool. I don't know how cool it'll look on YouTube, but whatever. You got a double jump, that's new. I like these posters that have scan lines on them. It'd be cool if they faded out when you got closer, faded away when you got farther away, but you know. I don't know, that's the artist in me talking, and the fire and everything's reflecting, and the textures are super sharp. But I thought Call of Duty Ghosts looked pretty good, even though everybody picks on it. It doesn't look nearly as good as this, I can't lie. But I like how all the posters and everything are like digital. I do like the future aspect of all this weird looking fancy neon shit going on. But like I said, since it's a futuristic based game, you gotta kind of figure out what the weapons do, because they don't exist in real life. Most of them anyway. I haven't played this in a while, so of course I'm gonna be shit, plus I'm doing a commentary. The grenades in this game are weird. Well, you can switch to frag grenades, but these are kind of cooler. They're like fucking fireworks. They're like, they self-propel and then go towards the enemy. I don't know how that works in multiplayer. I don't have that much experience in multiplayer, and unfortunately I know that's what a lot of people go for Call of Duty, so I'm not really a good information source about that. I'm just strictly covering the single player campaign, which is a good campaign, but the people who worked on the Dead Space series or whatever, I had to use my little boosters. The Dead Space series made this game, and I love all three Dead Space, and I'm really worried that they're not going to make any more of those games. I really hope I'm wrong, because that was like a modern take on survival horror that actually worked really well, and I would like to see more of that type of game. I have The Evil Within, I just haven't got to play much of it, but that seems more like Resident Evil 4 than like something I haven't seen before, but I like it regardless from what I've played. I haven't played all of it, so I might think it's horrible. No. See what happens when you talk? Nothing good. Alright. I really like the little HUD augmented reality thing. I just think it's quirky and adds a nice touch to it. And some people say the guns actually feel like they have more power to them than the other game or Ghost that came out. I just think it feels like fucking Call of Duty. If you handed me the controller, I would know that it was a Call of Duty game immediately without thinking twice about it. And people were like, well, it's the same game every year. Yeah, so is Mario mostly. And like, well, the new Super Mario Brothers games or whatever, but I mean, as long as the game's fun, if it's the same game every year, sometimes I feel like these games are so short, so if I get an extension of the same game, I'm kind of happy. I just want a game that's fun and new and fresh. I don't have to have the wheel reinvented every single time I play. If it's a good game, I mean, I don't mind having more of the same. The only thing I would get sick of is seeing like the same backgrounds over and over again, although I would like to see a modern take on a World War II game. I'm getting chewed up here and I don't even know from what. There's so much shit going on around here. But no, I don't mind playing the same type of game over again. I might want something fresh, like in between. Like I can't play first-person shooters one after another, like in real time, like every single day or whatever. Sometimes I want to play RPGs, but as far as like a yearly game goes that's similar, I don't mind it as long as they do something that's interesting. And when I say interesting, it could be like a new area, new weapons, like a new story, like anything. Like, it's just like film. You watch a film, you're sitting down in front of something and watching it. You're doing the same actions that you would do any other time. That's a bad analogy, but hey, I'm trying to record and trying to think of things to say at the same time. Should be talking about the game more than trying to defend it. Oh, those are the bad guys. I really should put it on colorblind mode, but it's not made for my type of color blindness, and the game just looks weird to me when I put it in colorblind mode. Like, makes the blood all like this weird purple color. And I have to have my blood red, even though I'm red and green colorblind. When it comes to the red that blood is, like the crimson red, Like, I can see that, and I don't like it when it's a different color. It looks stupid. Looks like everybody's like an alien or something. I guess we gotta go in this shithole. Throw a grenade. Throwing a little firework thing. Like I said, you can switch the regular grenades. I'm not exactly sure how to do it at the moment. I think you actually gotta hold the button down. Forgot what you pushed to change it, but I don't want to hold on to it too long. Maybe I don't have access to frag grenades, but they are in the game. There's probably a way to do it, like right now. Because if you saw it was labeled smart, you can turn it into a regular frag grenade. If that's something that you're concerned about. You know, people get concerned about little things like that. It's like, well, I can't do that. I could do this in the other games. You can pretty much do anything that you've done in any other Call of Duty game. It's just in the future, and it looks nicer. Which is fine, and there's a lot of variety in missions with stuff to do, and I like all the little gadgets that they come up with. So, this game has my vote. It was one of the games on my list of 2014 games, so. It does it enough right by my book. I don't think that, I don't think a Call of Duty game was on my list last year. I could be wrong, but, you know, I can't keep up with every single thing in that game. But I did enjoy Ghost. I thought it was a fine title. I don't see what's wrong with it. People are like, oh, there's more of the same. No shit. Part of the problem is maybe Call of Duty should go back to some of the past wars and stuff like that, which made Black Ops and World at War so good. Maybe that's what the problem is. I don't know. But like I said, I like this game. I think they're in a good direction. One of my gripes about Call of Duty games, as always, is I think the games are always too short. I thought that since there was a visceral, it would be a longer campaign. But I mean, it's a good campaign that you can pick up and play over again and still have fun like an arcade game or like a light gun game type of deal. It's still fun and interesting. I mean, there's no getting around it. Like, the main thing with Call of Duty games is always going to be multiplayer. That's why I think Medal of Honor has a huge opportunity to differentiate itself from the Call of Duty games. I mean, EA already has Battlefield. Why do they need to make another multiplayer focused game? They should just make Medal of Honor like a campaign-based game in World War II and reuse a lot of those characters that they created, like Jimmy Patterson and Manning from Medal of Honor Resistance. I think that would be cool. Like, have them like all the characters from all the past Medal of Honor games, like the World War II ones, and have them all work separately, and eventually, like, what am I supposed to be doing? 'Cause I'm talking about Medal of Honor. And have all the characters team up like the old Call of Duty games, and have them eventually like work towards one goal. Like, their missions are separate in the beginning, and then they end up fighting towards the same thing or for the same thing, a common goal or whatever. That'd be cool. And have like more character interaction, have a longer game. use the Frostbite engine and have the first World War II game that has environmental destruction in it. Well, serious environmental destruction. I know there's subtle environmental destruction in some World War II games, but I mean the amount that Battlefield has, and I think that'd work out great because EA already has Battlefield, so I think Medal of Honor needs to be relaunched as like what it used to be. Go back to its roots of a single player focused game. Doesn't even have to have multiplayer. I mean, like I said, they have Battlefield, and they'll have Battlefront too. I'm sure that'll be mostly multiplayer based, unfortunately. I'm hoping that there'll be a campaign in it, but that might be wishful thinking, but I'll hope for the best. But yeah, this game looks really nice. Always using this fucking thing and shooting fucking pellets at me with buckshot. Futuristic buckshot. Wonder if there'll ever be a Call of Duty game. I think there is some sort of plasma rifle or something. I was like with laser guns, and then I stopped and I was like, I think there are some type of laser guns in here. It's like really primitive though, and I think it overheats a lot. I think it's like a sniper rifle type deal. But I like all the little robots and shit in there. It's creative. I don't mind this change as long as there's variety in the first person world. Because usually what happens is you get like one successful genre and then every company tries to come up with their own version. Just like when Modern Warfare came out, and then all of a sudden every game had to be Modern Warfare based. And it kind of sucked. I was kind of tired of seeing the desert, to be honest with you. Give me a hand with the charges by pushing square. He's got that super on, for crying out loud. Don't worry about that time. One more time. Yeah. Lift it up. You gotta go now. Don't you got like a torch so you can just cut his fucking arm off? You got every other fucking gadget in the world. But you gotta admit the facial like animations and detail are top notch. And the fire and everything, it's just really nice and polished. I can't say enough about it. And the gameplay is typical Call of Duty, which is fun. And I believe I just lost an arm. I didn't need that arm anyway. I jerked off with the other one. Yep. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video here. This is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare for the PlayStation 4. Also available for everything else imaginable. Obviously, this is the next-gen version, so it's going to have more detail, but, you know, you're probably going to get the same experience no matter what you play. But I can't speak from experience. I've only played the PlayStation 4 version. Some versions probably look better than other versions. I think this is the second best looking one beside, of course, the PC, the quote-unquote master race or whatever, which kind of sounds creepy in its own right. I mean, do PC owners like wear jackets and uniforms with badges on it like Nazis or something? When they say the master race, it just sounds like Nazi lingo or some shit. Not that it is. I was just saying what it sounds like. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I have nothing against PC gamers, by the way. If I could afford the best PC in the world, I probably would have one. I just can't, and I like the console. I get super stressed out when I look at the back of the box, and with a PC game, I don't know if it's gonna look as good as the back of the box, whereas a console, I kind of know what I'm getting into because every console works exactly the same. So I don't know. That's why one of the main reasons why I prefer consoles. I have other reasons, but I have nothing against PC gamers. I do have something against console and PC people that fight amongst each other over which system is the best. It doesn't matter what's the best. It's whatever one you get the most out of, for crying out loud. Like, when you argue over it, it's like a bunch of fucking kids at a playground about to throw sand in each other's eyes. But anyway, guys, enough about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, please click on the thumbs up. And feel free to leave a comment. I highly encourage you guys to leave a comment. I'd like to get to know more of you. Like, I see that I got subscribers, but I usually only hear from like 2 or 3 people most of the time, and it's the same people. Not that it's an issue, like, I like talking to them, but I mean, I'd like to get to know more of you. So feel free to leave a comment, positive or negative. Please, if you leave a negative comment, make sure that it's constructive and you're not trying to be a dick. Nobody likes those kind of people, because, well, they kind of bum you out a little bit. But yeah, so feel free to leave a comment or whatever. And you already know how to subscribe, but I'm putting the idea back in your head just in case you didn't think about it. But I'm sure you know how to use YouTube, so yeah. And for those that have subscribed and left comments and left thumbs up and watched the videos, thank you so much for your support, and I really do appreciate it more than you ever know. I do make this channel for me, but I do it for you guys too, like in the community and getting to know all of you. It's kind of a social thing for me as well. So I'm going to quit because this is a static screen, and how interesting could that possibly be? Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys later. Alright, take care. Thank you for watching. Bye.